For the next part, this little handle, or I don't know what it's called, so where we can afterwards put through this loop, we need now a little bit more complex geometry, and the first thing you create is a polycylinder and decrease the subdivisions to I think 10 are enough, and also the subdivision caps here. In this case we need them, so put them to 2. Wrote this thing perfectly, and here in this I will scale it so it fits nearly the size that we have here. Also reposition it because we need it somewhere around here. We don't see it from the pictures. And I scale it also, make it a little bit thicker. And so the positions should be somewhere here. Now, it's important that we do a little bit of tuning, and we have to do Boolean operations. You know that I'm not a fan of Boolean because you have to do a lot of rework afterwards, but it's the best way now to create this geometry. So what you do, you copy this with Control D or Command D, and it should be a little bit thicker. But be careful that you just move it in this direction. So here it is exactly the same, but don't move it up or down or something, or in this direction. It should be perfectly aligned to the other. Okay, that's important for our process later on. Then you scale it that it is a little bit inside the other geometry. Okay, it doesn't matter how much, just here you see 1 millimeter or something. And what you also do is you delete all these inner faces. That's all the preparation we need to do for the Boolean process. And be sure that your outer edge could be just a little bit further than that one here. Okay? Now, before the Boolean process will start, we will here do more edge loops in this geometry, because this will help us then connect the geometries afterwards together. So what you do is I switched on here my wireframe unshaded because I want to see where the lines are. And so insert edge loop. I insert myself an edge loop where at the height of where here is an edge. Actually, I can delete on this side the edge loops, so I don't need them. Then I create one here, okay, and another one here, and maybe one. No, I was wrong. I want another edge loop on this cylinder. So somewhere here that I can connect this later. Okay, this is the preparation, and I also delete here the subdivision at the caps. We need it on the inner side but not on the outer, and then be sure that you get rid of the vertices. And now I try to do my Boolean operations. Be sure that you save your scene before, while you don't destroy anything with the boolean because you can destroy a lot. So be sure that you save yourself status quo, that you can go back if you destroy something. Okay. Then, first step, select the screwdriver and the outer cylinder and go to Mesh Booleans Union. Now there should be a connection, and I think I do the rework first, because when you see here in the, this is how it should look like, and on the outer side I will do the rework first before I do the second part. So what we do is we merge vertices together which are really close to each other, and with the Target Weld tool I connect here. Oops, be sure that nothing is selected you don't want to be selected. Then with the Target Weld tool I merge all these points together, okay, so that there is just one connection, and also zooming close that was the reason why I needed now the edge loop, because it's much easier for me to do a little bit of connection work, and also I do it the other way around. Okay. Oh, this wasn't a good idea, so I'll do it that way. And see, it looks much better here on the other side. Also in the 3 mode. Yeah. So, and now we need to cut off something from the inner side, that we have enough space here, and go back to the 1 mode. Be sure that this is a little bit more inside, and now let's see what happens, because I don't know. Select, this is the first geometry, and then select the cylinder, mesh a Boolean's difference. Yeah, not bad. You see, okay, actually this black stuff here should have gone away, but it's still there. But what Maya does is he cut it, that geometry, so we can get rid of all the black parts. Oh, here we have a little problem, because the edges weren't perfectly aligned over each other. So actually it's my fault. What I do here first is with, let's see if this works, with the multi-cut tool. No, it doesn't work. So I just cut off the parts and connect them later, so that's the easiest way. Okay. Oh, I selected too much, like this one. So this is what we should end up roughly, and actually now I fix my geometry here. I get rid of this edge loop, then try, oops, just wanted to get rid of the points. I guess I have here. So that's the reason why Booleans are a little bit difficult sometimes. Just get rid of this point with the Target Weld. And now I try a bridge. Yep. And also on the other side, I also have bad vertex here. Can I delete it? Yes. And then do also a bridge here. And you have to, I see a little hole There, I merge my vertices, and it depends really on your geometry how your result of the Boolean does look like. So here I also see the Boolean didn't do a good work. So I have a very small face here. And when I select it, it's also selected with the other stuff. Cool. Oh my god, this will be fun when you do this. I try to connect here one of the pieces. And do a fill hole here, or you can do a bridge. Okay, there's still a bad face or point somewhere. Oh, it was just a point. Yeah, looks quite good on this side. Okay, then let's go to the other. I just pressed F on the keyboard so that I can focus this better, and I go here to the Touch Weld tool, and actually I just merged them all together because they're really close to each other. Yeah, it doesn't look good. Maybe I merged too much. No, it looks fine, but actually I think it would be a good idea when I connect this point also. Oops, that's the wrong tool. So now there's still some bad geometry, you see that? Oh, I tried to. Here I have somewhere geometry that isn't connected. You see, that's the reason why Booleans are a little bit weird. So, cool. I tried to delete my history. And maybe I just get rid of this face. Because sometimes it works when you just delete a face and then so. And now I do a bridge here. Maybe I should select the right edge. And I see here I deleted some other stuff. So, bridge, yes. Another bridge. Now see, still I have bad geometry there. I quickly fill my hole here. So. Maybe I have some bad vertices. Which I'm just trying to touch it well. These. Yeah. Okay. So. I slide this edge here. I have my slide edge tool. So that's a little bit closer. So move that point. But there's still some kind of issue here. No, doesn't work. So try another way. Delete the face, one of the faces, and then fill hole. I love booleans. Now I even can't go back. Ah! Okay, the undo worked. But so I try to delete history again. So when such strange things happen, then this might help. Maybe. So then I will try bridge. Yes, now you see, the geometry now is forming well. And let's see from all around, because I switch off my wireframe unshaded, because now you see here it is where I have too much edge loops. Of course, I inserted them because I needed them for connection, but I will reconnect this to another point, and I will also get rid of this edge loop, and I will also reconnect it to another point. So select all the vertices, delete them, and here I just go to that point, and this I connect straight here. See what happens. Yeah, now I got my nice form again. And what I do now is the last step. That was the reason why I created that caps subdivision, because now I need an extrude here, somewhere near the middle line. Okay, not too far. And I will delete here. So now I have place to do the loop around here. And of course we might need some more edge loops. I need one here, and if you want another little bit harder edge, okay, be careful where the edge loops are running. So maybe I do just one here, this side. Okay, so that it's a little bit sharper. And now I get a nice, would also get a nice connection here. And here actually I don't need a connection because I have a four-sided face anyway. So, and if I want, because this edge is sharper than this one, because I connected here some of the edges before, and so I just do a manual edge loop, for example, here, and so it looks similar. And I push it also a little bit inside, because you see here it's following the round form. Yeah, so that looks quite okay. For the button, you create yourself a cube. You subdivide the cube in, stretch it up a little bit. Actually, no, there don't need edge loop, but here I need to, no, we take 4. Okay, then I check in my views the size and the position. And this button is symmetric. So be careful that you're also creating it kinda symmetric. Not kinda, create it symmetric. So what I do is I actually take these two or three. Actually, it would be easier to model it straight. So get back my rotation. So no movement doesn't. Oh, I have a second cube here. So try to model it straight. It's easier. Or rotate the image. Actually, could also do that because it's the modeling process is easier for you when you just give them a little bit of what's here inside. I don't mind actually. What I also do is I scale this up that it gets this, see this kind of shape. Then it should be a little bit rounder. So what I do is I insert myself edge loops here. Anyway, I could do this at the beginning already, but during the modeling process, sometimes I get better ideas, multiple edge loop, so getting two. The reason why I do this is now I take the edges, now go to vertex. Oh, I'm in the tool already, or still in the tool. Then take, so this one, and this one. And I will scale this down. This creates me a little bit rounder form, but there are still the edges. So, and take these two, scale them up a little bit. So, and I also push this a little bit more to the side. Okay, look, not so bad actually. I also insert myself here and switch back to the options, go relative distance to edge again. Here in the back, actually this will be hidden afterwards in the geometry, but so that my roundness here is still keeping up. So it is perfectly placed in the middle, and now I check here, I rotate it afterwards and check how well I modeled. Yeah, not too bad. Maybe a little bit too big, I scale it just a little bit. So, and this will help me now. Actually, it's not deep enough. So I take all of my vertices and push them further in and up again so that has the even more. No, I think my geometry is too flat here. Yeah, that's the reason why. Actually, you're not allowed to. Not allowed. I do the same, but be careful when you move single points, not to destroy your geometry too far. So now I have a good reference where to put the hole in the geometry here. And what I see is I will slide this edge. Yeah, a little bit more here. And what I also could do, but as always, be careful when moving. Is when you take these points and push it nearly to your bottom. And here at the bottom, I will try to insert an edge loop and see what happens. Oops, wrong tool. Insert edge loop. The edge loop ends here because there's a triangle, but now I have a quad here, and so I just leave it. Now I have a good starting point for my hole to create. So take all of the faces and extrude them. I just pushed it inside. See how the form is working? Yeah, not too well already. And the first thing I will do, I get rid of these faces here on the inside. And I try to insert an edge loop here. Maybe I get rid of the button. I can, yeah, so. Because it has to be really, really sharp actually on this point. So let me see. Yeah, it looks not too bad actually. Here my button is still not deep enough. So to deepen my button, I just do an extrude. This will be the easier way. So extrude, and there it goes. So this is of course a very basic way to create this hole, but it's just for the look that we have the feeling there is a hole. And so, okay, and then it's time to mirror my screwdriver, and for that I just check in the top view. You see here, this my extrude from the button is really off my middle line. So before you scale the hole, just be sure that you just push the button out of the way, that it's not too far away. So such little things are okay, but not too far. Because otherwise, when I now do the scaling, that everything is straight again. I'll do this here in this mode. and actually you see here that my middle point is moving. Okay, and this is because as when you have here a lot more distortion than I have, so it will not be better. But I do this anyway 2 times, and then I just move it back so that it's nearly round again. You can also put a cylinder here in the front when you are not sure if it's perfectly round again. And then go to Mesh, Mirror, open up the options, and check in which direction do you want to mirror. Here I always check here. I see that my object is orientated in x plus, so I have to mirror it to x minus, and be sure that here bounding box is on, and also here this combine and merge border vertices. Mirror. Oh, you see, my hole isn't. And the reason why, no, it stretches up. You see here, create, edit, repeat. Yeah, it stretches, so I have somewhere an arrow where, because, oh, that's the reason, I think. Yep. So be very, very careful. That's the reason why it stretches. Check that all of your parts are on one line. And when I do the mirror again now, let's check here if it stays nearly round. Again, mesh mirror. Yeah, looks much better. Yeah, so push back my button. What you do is, when you have such issues right here, actually I can connect all of these, but it really depends how you did your geometry. And I merge this to one point. I need a bigger threshold, so let's see how it looks like. Yep, much better. And maybe here on the back side, I will just smooth out this. Do I need this actually? Maybe I can just get rid of this because I need that. And sometimes, yeah, looks a lot better. So this was the basic form. I hope you get along with that quite complex thing that we did here. And the next step, you can model one of the bits on your own. And I also forget to explain how this band is made. I will do this in the next tutorial.